What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and today I want to show you how you should spend your money. Now, just so you kind of know where I come from, I started 8 years ago knocking doors selling pest control. Now, I went out pretty humble, had a rough start, but in one 4-month period, I ended up selling enough pest control that I made $96,000. I fell in love with the job. Now, every year I came back and I brought more people into it to where I was not only making money on my own sales, but I was training, I was recruiting, I was taking these college students and giving them this opportunity. And in turn, I was making money off of their sales as well. So just this last year, in one summer, all of my sales reps ended up selling over $10 million worth of pest control contracts. So because of this job, I've had the blessing of making millions of dollars selling pest control. Now, I then took that money from my pest control earnings and I put it into real estate. So I now also own over $6 million worth of real estate. And if you're interested in how you can get into a job like that, I put the link down in the description so that you can apply if you would like to knock doors as well. You just go to www.elitesummersales.com. So now that you know a little bit more about me, I want to talk about how you should spend your money so that you can get to a place where you have the lifestyle that you want. And to do this, I want to start with a story. There was once a man that was out fishing in Mexico. He had a little fishing boat and he would go out and he was really good at it. He'd catch lots of fish, he'd come back, but he wouldn't work super hard. I mean, he'd go out and work hard in the mornings, but he was done by the afternoon, and the rest of the day he'd come home, he'd sell his fish really quick, and he had the whole remainder of the day and all of his weekends to hang out with his family. They'd go to the beach, they'd go have fun together, they'd get to eat their meals together, and he just lived the dream in his mind of this awesome situation where he made good money and he got to spend all of this time with his family. Tourists came in and they saw what he did on this fishing boat. They were really impressed and they said, "Look, you've got to take advantage of this. You're so good at this, you need to buy another boat and then you literally could double your income." And the guy's like, "Well, then what?" And he said, "Well, once you've done that, you can buy 5 boats and 10 boats. And pretty soon you can be the main provider for all of Mexico." He's like, "Okay, well then what?" And he said, "Well, who knows? Maybe you could continue to add boats. Pretty soon you could be the biggest fishing corporation in the entire world. I mean, you could be sending fish all over. You would be making millions and millions of dollars. Heck, you might even be a billionaire." And the guy looks at him and he says, "Well, then what?" He said, "Well, then you've got all this money. You can go and you can just hang out on the beach with your family. You can do whatever you want." And you could see in his eyes, he was very confused because he was already doing that. Now, the reason that I'm sharing this story is throughout my life, I have been very outward about sharing the way that people should spend their money, about pushing people to say, look, if you're making money, you've got to invest in real estate. You've got to set yourself up for your future. You've got to put yourself in a place where you could have this huge passive income and literally do whatever you want, whenever you want. And the reason I share that is I really believe it. It's something that I believe truly is the best way to go for me and my family. However, I've come to realize that that doesn't mean that it's the best way for you. You look at Grant Cardone and he's very opinionated about everything, whether you should rent or buy a house, how you should spend your money, what you should spend your money on, how you should live poor until you get to the point where then you can buy lavish things. Same with Gary Vee. He's someone that pushes, look, you've got to eat shiz forever. You shouldn't be spending all this money on these nice things. You just got to eat shiz till you're done with your 30s and then you can start to spend if you spend it all. And as a matter of fact, I think a lot of times he just says, look, there's no need for these other things, and that's what works for him. But what I've come to find is everyone's different. That's what's so awesome. So in this video, I want to share with you what my opinion is on how you should spend your money, but I also want you to know that for every person, there is a different perfect. And I think the most important thing you can do is figure out where you want to be, what you want to accomplish, how much money you want to make, and what you want to do with it before you decide on what you should spend on. because my goals are not your goals, or not Gary Vee's goals, or not Grant Cardone's goals. And once you figure out your goal, what you think is gonna be best for you and your family, then you're gonna know how to spend your money. However, today I wanna show you how I've decided to spend mine so that I can be in the place where I have a big enough passive income to pay for all of my family's expenses so that money isn't something that I have to stress about. I wanna share exactly what I did. I went out and I knocked doors and I sold pest control when I was single. And I made $96,000 that first summer, but I didn't spend hardly any of it. I spent what I needed for living and for food and for college, and I might have bought a $100 watch so I could look cool, and that was about the extent of it. I went back out the next year and I made over $140,000. And again, I didn't go crazy with it. I sat on it. By the third year, I made even more money, and that's when I decided to start investing in real estate. I read a book by Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I decided that I wanted to live the lifestyle that my real estate could pay for. And so I was very set on purchasing real estate and letting the passive income pay for my lifestyle. So the cars, the house, the food, my family, my kids, all of that, I wanted to make sure that it could always be paid for with passive income. So me and my wife, even though we had a lot of money in the bank, we decided to rent until we could afford a home paid for with our passive income. We didn't get the cars that we wanted until we could afford them with our passive income. And by living this way, we were super motivated to find good real estate purchases so that then we had that income so we could increase our lifestyle. Now, the reason this worked for me is I'm not stressed at all about finances because I still make incredible money working for Aptive. As a matter of fact, every single year working for this door-to-door sales pest control company, my income has increased. I've made more every single year because I've created a really cool sales organization. We've put together a crew of guys, we give them the best sales training in the world, and we give them an opportunity to go down that same path where they can make awesome money in the process. And my goal is to help teach people to be smart with their money so that they can set themselves up for their future. And if you're interested in knowing how to get involved in that job or how to apply, you can find that link down in the description. That's the way that I've done things, and that's how I've known how much I can spend on my house, my cars, and everything else, is because I decided I was only gonna pay for those things with the passive income created from my real estate investments. I have the house that I want and that I love. I have the cars that I want and love, and I'm making great money, and I'm able to invest in new real estate every single year. And that was my goal, and that's what I wanted, and it's been incredible because I truly believe as you set big goals, you can get there. So the biggest take home of this video is, in my opinion, I think you should live poor for a while. I think you should use your money to invest in real estate. I think you should create this passive income so that you don't have to stress about money, so you're not in this potentially scary situation because you overspent, and your passive income can then pay for those dreams and those goals. However, if you decide not to do it that way, or if you have friends or family that decide not to do it that way, be happy for them. Use them as motivation. Be happy that they reached their goals, even if they did it in a way that you don't agree with. That's awesome. Good for them because they got something that was important to them. Because here's the deal. If someone else wants a house or wants a car and they think that's what's best for their end goal, then who am I to say that they're stupid? Because they now have a car or a house that I am talking about, that I am irritated about, and that deep down, there's probably part of me that would like, and yet all I can do is talk negative about them rather than building them up or being happy that they reached one of their goals. Some people will choose to build an empire, and others will choose to keep a job that they're happy with, that pays for the lifestyle that they want, and that is awesome. That's why you've got to figure out what your end goal is, the kind of life you want to live, the security nets that you want in place, set those goals, and then live your life accordingly. Now, if you guys enjoyed the video and you want to learn more about the steps that I've taken, how I've been able to acquire real estate, and what I've done to make money from knocking doors, click on the links in the description below. We've got one to my personal website and one to the elitesummersales.com website where you can learn more and potentially apply for a job to come and knock doors in my sales region. And again, if you like the video, make sure to push that like button and subscribe to the channel for the future videos, and we'll look forward to seeing you in those future videos where my goal is to help you to create a huge passive income. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.